he should be worried about losing you. He should be thinking he has the greatest woman on the face of this earth. He should be feeling like, I never want to let this go. And he should be cherishing you, respecting you, and loving you in the way that you desire and deserve. So I want to help you experience that by giving you the 9 ways to make him worry about losing you. My name is Stephan Laboussiere, aka Stephan Speaks, back with another dating and relationship advice video for women. Again, today we're talking about the 9 ways to make him worry about losing you. As always, before we begin, be sure to like this video, share it, subscribe to this channel, and click that notification button. And leave your comments below. Let me know what's the way you think you can make a man worry about losing you. Now, listen, if you've been watching me for a while, then you know I'm not about tips and tricks that are manipulative acts to get the desires or to get our needs met. Though some of these things may sound that way, it's really about establishing good, healthy, positive relationships and then getting the positive results that come from that. All right. I also want you to understand that we don't want to make him worry in the sense of striking fear in his heart, all right, to where he's in panic mode or on edge or even feeling insecure about the possibility of losing you. No, but we do want him to see the value in the woman that you are, to understand that he has something special. But it's not just in him recognizing it through his own admission, it's also through you taking the steps I'm about to lay out that's going to ensure that he is going to worry or regret or be concerned about losing you. Now, I have a very important message at the end of this video, so please watch to the end because I always have something extra I gotta give you. Some of you are coming to this video for this information, but there's something else you need to hear, so be sure to stay tuned. But let's get to it. Number 1 on the list of ways to make him worry about losing you is to be his peace. Now, I know some of y'all already shaking your head like, give me a break. Why I gotta be his peace? Why can't he be my peace? Listen, you came to find out how to make him worry about losing you. So, yes, you need to be his peace. Peace is something that men crave. And to be quite honest with you, a lot of men aren't getting it. A lot of men are in a relationship with a woman who may be a good woman, quote unquote, but that relationship is not filled with peace, not filled with joy. And so when there isn't peace, why would someone crave holding on to that? Why would someone be worried about losing that? If anything, they might be wondering, how the hell do I get out of this? Because nobody wants to come home to war. Nobody wants to deal with their woman being difficult and negative and all these things that only create more problems. No man wants to have to embrace a negative woman. So when you can learn to be his peace, you strengthen the relationship. But listen, it's not just about being his peace. How about be your own damn peace? You need peace. You can't be his if you're not yours. You got to understand how this works. You can't fake manufacture being this peaceful woman who brings joy and love when from within you are battling your own demons. You are going through your own issues. So please understand, because again, like I said, this isn't just about tips and tricks. This is about healthy things that are going to create healthy relationships. And that starts within you. So make sure if you need to go to counseling, go to counseling. If you need to resolve some things within you that's throwing things off, which I'll mention later about the things that we eat, how our sleep, things of that nature that can really sway us in the right or wrong direction. Look at all of these things. Start to create that peace and joy within yourself so that it naturally comes out. So you won't find yourself trying to force yourself to put a smile on your face when you're not feeling that way. Now, some of you might be saying, how the hell am I going to be his peace when he brings me chaos, when he brings me nonsense, when he's the one causing problems? Well, again, I got an answer for that at the very end of this video because there's a really simple answer. But again, we're going to leave that to the end of the video. Back to being his peace. At the end of the day, I can tell you from sitting down with so many men, and let me just give this important part because I'm very big on connection. All right. And one of the things that I've seen with men who felt like they had a connection with a woman is that they all mentioned that they felt peace in her presence. So I'm only bringing that up simply because you can't force a connection. You can't just manufacture one. But the bottom line is, I want you to understand how peace is a part of the equation for a man to even feel like, damn, this is the one. This is the one I cannot let go. So if you want him to worry about losing you, find a way to be his peace. But again, be your own peace as well. Number 2 on the list that pretty much goes hand in hand with be his peace is speak love and positivity into that man. Now listen, even though I have a video about not dating mama's boys, right? I want you to understand that the reason why some men, not all men, but the reason why some men become mama's boys, become so attached to their mothers, is because she is that peace. She is speaking that love and positivity. She is the encourager. She believes in him. She uplifts him. These things draw that man to his mother, and they can draw him to you. When you become the source of positivity and love, he wants to be around you. When he has to go to work and deal with the nonsense of work, but he knows he has a woman that when he's in her presence only speaks love and positivity into him, he wants to be there. He doesn't want to be out and about when he can be relaxed next to the woman that makes him feel good. So learning how to speak love and positivity into that man, learning how when you guys are discussing things, not to go to the negative, not to always sound so pessimistic. It doesn't mean that you cannot be honest about how you feel. And sometimes your honest feelings may come across as negative or pessimistic. But again, it's not what you say, but how you say it. And learning how to convey your message in a more loving, peaceful, feminine manner is going to go a long way. And again, it causes you to be the person that he wants to be around, that he wants to talk to, that he cherishes. Now, as I mentioned in number 1, it's easier to be positive and loving when you're at peace from within. When you're doing the things for you to feel better about yourself, to feel good, to have the energy that you need. So you do have to make sure that you are locating the negative influences in your life that throw you off from staying in that more positive and loving mindset. What is causing you to struggle, if it is a struggle for you, to do these things? If right now you're sucking your teeth or rejecting this idea of speaking love and positivity, why? Why are you so more inclined to think this is unrealistic and to think that being more negative or whatever we want to call it is what it should be or how it should be accepted? The reality is that you can achieve being a more positive, loving person, but you have blockage there. There's something that we have to remove. It may be trauma from childhood. It may be that you're not prepared to be fully vulnerable. And the reality is that being positive and loving requires a level of vulnerability. And because you struggle in that manner, you may tend to reject such ideas as this. But you have it in you. I want you to know that. You have it in you. You are capable. And again, understand that becoming that positive, loving person is not only going to make him worry about losing you, it has a positive effect on everyone in your life. Because again, the same woman who may struggle in her relationships, see struggle in other areas, see conflict in other areas, because that negative energy carries over into other areas of our life. So when we can learn to create more positive environments, whether that be at work or relationships with family, that tends to have the reverse effect. And now the positivity starts to spread. So we have to turn the tables in every area that we can to make sure we're walking in more love and positivity. But without a doubt, when you are that woman, he will be concerned about losing you. He will be worried about losing you. He will want to make sure he holds on to this, because I'm telling you right now, y'all see a world, and many of you say there's so many good women, but there's not a lot of positive women. There's not a lot of sweet, loving women. Not like you think it is. Not when it comes to being in a relationship. Some of these women may act all sweet and loving on the surface, but behind closed doors with that man, they are hell. They are trouble. It is not what you think it is. I said that all wrong. It's not what you think it is, okay? So please understand that when you can bottle that up and become that positive, loving woman, that's a powerful force. And that's something that he will regret or he will worry about losing. Number 3 on the list is you're going to find out his specific needs and desires and then actually implement these things or actually provide these things. Now, here's something that's very important. One, I have to mention, if you notice on this list, none of this stuff is like we're going to nag him into doing what you want or we're going to take some negative approach. Everything here is positive, healthy energy to get you what you're looking for. So now, going back to finding out his needs and desires, one of the greatest mistakes of women is that they assume what this man wants. They assume, well, this is what I've been taught to believe should make him happy, rather than learning what actually makes him happy. So they do things based off their own logic or their own assumptions, and they don't realize it doesn't always connect with what that man was looking for. It's almost like you're with this man and you say, what would you love for your birthday? And he says, you know what? I would just love a box of pizza, some liquor, me and you watching a movie, and we have some sex. I'm just throwing that in there because that's what some guys would say. All right. Now, you hear this and you say, you know what? He needs a new wallet. Let me go get him a wallet. No pizza, no liquor, no sex, no nothing. Just the damn wallet. And in your mind, you're thinking he should be so happy because he needed this wallet. But in his mind, it's like, I asked for those things. That's what I appreciate that you're so thoughtful that you recognize I needed this and this is a useful gift, but there was a different need that I wanted to be met and you ignore that. And I give you just a simple example, but this happens in so many ways with women where what he's actually desiring is not connecting with what you're trying to pour into. So when you take the time to find out his needs and desires specifically to him, and then you pour into that, oh my gosh, you immediately become a woman like no other because the average woman does not do that. The average woman does not take the time to find out. The average woman does not actually pour into those specific things. Now, let me throw a caveat. It is possible that what he needs or desires may be beyond your value system. All right? They may cross a line that you are not comfortable with. I'm not going to tell you to compromise your beliefs or your values to satisfy any man. So that is where, okay, well, maybe this is an indicator that we're in the wrong relationship, that we see things differently because now you will be able to see clearly you are unwilling or not capable of fulfilling his specific desires. And you can't just sweep it under the rug and say, well, he just has to deal with it, because anything that's left as a void leaves the door open for someone else to fill it. Not saying that's okay, not validating it, not saying it's right. I'm telling you, this is what happens. So if you notice that this is a void you can't fill, then maybe this is an indicator, unless it's something super simple that he generally feels like it's not that big of a deal. Other than that, then that may tell you, okay, we got to just keep it moving and move in a different direction. But to get back to the main point, find out what he needs specifically, find out what he desires, tap into that. And when you do, and not just tap into it once, not just tap into it for his birthday, no, consistently. The same way you don't want a man only doing the things you really like when it's a special occasion. You want him to take initiative to do that on regular days too. It shouldn't just be when it's a special day to get these things that you really, really want. So it's the same thing for him. Be consistent with those things. Keep pouring into it. And I'm telling you, when that happens, this man is not going to want to lose you. Plain and simple. Which brings me to number 4. Start taking better care of yourself. Now, this one encompasses so many different angles here. All right. So 1, let's start with what we kind of touched on in some of the earlier keys. As I said, it is very difficult to be positive, loving, to be his peace, and all these different things when you're not feeling good within yourself, when you're cranky, when you're lacking energy. So taking better care of yourself, phase 1, is simply about getting yourself into a better place mentally, spiritually, emotionally. All right? Because that is what's going to give you or the strength to be able to pour that positive energy and love. That's what's going to help you have a better mood, because people don't realize what you eat can affect your moods. Your lack of sleep can affect your energy. Your lack of drinking water. These are very simple things. Start taking better care of yourself, taking a break from all that life is throwing at you. So many of you literally have no days off throughout the week. You have work, you may have school, you may have kids, your relationship, but you have not one day to just relax and recharge. This is important for you to have, because again, it's not just important for the sake of your own health, but this is what's going to allow you to bring your best self to the relationship, which then by bringing your best self makes him desire you more, makes him appreciate you more, makes him want to hold on to you more. Plain and simple. So many people are bringing their lower level selves. So many people are bringing their depleted self to the relationship and saying, hey, deal with it. Hey, you make me feel better. Hey, you figure this out. No, you figure it out. You get yourself right. Bring your better self to your partner and watch the difference that makes. Yes, they still have to pour into you. They still are a contributor to the overall positivity and happiness of the relationship. But you've got to come with that great energy on your own to start with. So start taking better care of yourself health-wise so you can start feeling better and pouring these positive things into your relationship. But now here's the other angle of this. Take better care of yourself as far as your appearance. Now, some of y'all may not like that, and you might, be getting a little tight right now. But listen, hear me out. Again, I know we've all heard it. You've all heard it, men being very visual. But notice something. I did not say, or I will not say to you, look a certain way, because different men like different things. All right. And so when I say take better care of yourself physically, first, let's recognize what was that presentation that drawed him in. What's that presentation that he likes? Because for some of you, I'm not going to say to everyone, oh, you need to get really slim, right? Because in some of your relationships, that man may be wishing you gained 5 extra pounds. In another relationship, it may be losing 10 pounds, all right? Now, listen, I know some of you may be saying, well, I shouldn't have to do that for any man. Listen, if you want him if you want to tap into that thing that makes this man happy and raises his desire for you, and then creates that environment where he is trying to hold on to you, and he will now do what he's supposed to do even more to make sure he does not lose this amazing, great thing he has, then yes, physical attraction will play a role. Because we don't get into romantic relationships to not have physical attraction. This is where we're supposed to be able to enjoy the dynamic of physical attraction. Now, granted, he needs to do his part too, but this ain't about him right now. This is about what you can do better. So you have to find that what I call, or like to call, the happy zone. That place where you feel good about you, you're comfortable. We don't want you to do anything that's going to be unhealthy trying to look good for him, all right? We also don't want you to do anything unhealthy that takes you too far and deviates from what looks good to him. We want you to find that nice place where, okay, your man loves how you're looking, you love how you're looking, you love how you're feeling. It's all coming together. And again, it's going to vary from person to person. So I'm just going to say, find your best self. Find your most effective presentation in that relationship within the dynamic of also it being healthy, all right? At least some level of healthy. This is where you're going to strike gold, so to speak, all right? And this is what's going to have a very strong impact on the relationship, plain and simple. So be very mindful of that, but definitely being in shape. And when I say in shape, because understand we can be different weights and still be in shape, all right? Being in shape or being fit is kind of universal in the sense that you still want to be able to handle things in physical fitness. So I think it's good to strive for that regardless of whatever weight you settle in on. That's going to be good. Again, it's going to be good for you, how you feel, the impact on the relationship, your ability to have a greater energy, greater focus. All these things come together and create an amazing environment and an amazing relationship. So yes, start taking better care of yourself if you want him to worry about losing you. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. So, when it comes to dating, there's a lot of things that can be frustrating for a woman. And for some, the frustration is just meeting men, right? Just having men willing to come talk to you, being able to have more opportunities